Rees-Zammit officially announced he's leaving the NFL and returning back to rugby. And I have to say, this is not a failure story. It's a success story. And we have to celebrate this young man for taking the leap of faith on himself. And if you've all been with me since the beginning, or if you're just new here, LRZ and I run a similar path. He took the path of going to American football, and I took the path of going into rugby. And I say that because the first video that really launched this channel that made it take off was the initial video when LRZ announced that he was coming to the NFL. And I did a one-off video that I didn't expect to do anything. And it put me on this trajectory of being into rugby for now 18 months. So him and I have been running a similar path, and I've been following his story and really cheering him on since the beginning. And it's sort of interesting how he's taken this path back to rugby. And, I'm still trying to find my way in the world of rugby as I continue to learn. But key points that I have for this video, because I want to make it clear and short, I just have to say he took an incredible leap of faith to chase his NFL dream, and that's something that we have to celebrate no matter what sport that you support. I'm an American football player, and I've loved learning the world of rugby, but I've always thought sports, they're a great unifier, and I'm not the person who uses sports to be a divider of like, our sport's better than yours. I celebrate all athletes and all sports because the level of dedication, talent, athleticism it takes to play at the professional level, it's insane no matter what sport you play. And for LRZ to showcase his talent and bring it over to the American football system is absolutely incredible, because as an American football player, a dream of mine would have been to play in the NFL. I didn't have the size or the speed or intelligence and the gifts to play at that level, at professional level. College was my ceiling, but from a player that came from another world, from another sport, to be able to sit on even just a practice squad is absolutely insane, because when you look at the numbers, it's like 0.001% of football players that play here in America make it on a professional team. And for him to be on a professional team for 18 months, whether it is on the practice squad or whatever, is a feat in and of itself. And it's one that barely any of us can accomplish. So that has to be celebrated and understood, that you have to look at the quality of his talent and skill set for him to be able to stay on a team for that long, being the Jacksonville Jaguars, is absolutely exceptional. And what I think is that he gained valuable insight and skills that are going to make him an even better rugby player, because in American football, compared to rugby, we're similar in the fact that we're both collision sports, right? But we differ in every other area. Football is hyper explosive, powerful, short burst of energy, and rugby is a more well-rounded as far as endurance, playing ability, as far as finding space in the back line, sort of like a soccer and basketball abilities, and it's more well-rounded, where football is more of a specialized positional-based skill sets that you have in our systems. And so they use different energy systems, different modalities, but we can pick up a lot from one another in the world of our collision sports. And that's what I think is beautiful about the time that he spent over here. And I'm really excited to see how he expresses those skill sets and abilities that he picked up while he was here, because no doubt he put on more size. It definitely has more explosive power and speed and plyometric ability playing in the system for as long as he did here. And I'm really excited to see how he's going to use that going back into the world of rugby, and if he's going to see the field any different. It's going to be really interesting. And I know he didn't really give a lot of intel on his Sky Sports interview on why he decided to make that decision, but having played in the system and understanding how the football system works here. So if you look at like the South African system or the New Zealand or English or Welsh system that you all have in rugby, how you have a grassroots system that develops players from childhood, our football system is the same exact way, and we're just putting new players in the league every single year that are ready to play and start from day one without having to acquire the skill set mentally, physically, emotionally, and understanding the nuances of the game. And that's what makes it hard for these international pathway players to actually get a starting spot and be on the 52-man roster, because our pipeline for football is just so deep compared to what we have in our rugby systems, not deep and well developed like your rugby systems that you're used to seeing. So that's what made it hard for him, and I'm sure the conversations weren't in his favor to show that he was going to make get off the practice squad and, make a roster. And for him to waste his youth sitting on the sideline, I think that would have been a travesty. So I'm happy that he made the transition and the decision back to go to the world of rugby. And I'm very excited to see what team or club he gets picked up on. I'm excited to see him bring that fresh energy back into the Welsh system as well, because I have no doubt that you put him back on the starting squad on Wales, and he's going to make an impact as far as energy, because he has that star quality about himself. Even you see when he came over here across the pond, here he came over here in America, he had a lot of support in the football world, and we really wanted to see him do well and develop, but it was just such a far stretch. I wish I could have seen him step on the field even more, but it's one of those things, man. I applaud him and have to celebrate his success, and just know that he didn't lose his rugby talent. He just added and expanded his toolkit that's going to make him a more well-rounded athlete. And I think this matters because it proves that as a rugby player, he has the ability to play at the highest level in sports. In any sport, not only rugby, but he can come over to the American football system and play at the highest level. And I know some of the comments are gonna be like, well, football is not a real sport. If you played the sport, it's high quality athleticism over here, and it's impossible to undermine the talent or experience that it takes to be a professional athlete in the NFL. And that's what I always showcase, is that I think it's silly to undermine the athleticism just because a sport is different from one another. We can appreciate and accept the differences, and we can applaud the similarities as well. But to undermine the ability it takes to be a professional athlete, whether it's football or rugby, I think it's a silly sentiment, and that's a narrative that I'm not going to play into. And so I just really think it's brilliant to what he's done over here, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do back in the world of rugby. But I think what he brings is a solid and positive example for young up-and-coming athletes to take calculated risks on themselves. Because as we've seen athletes like Emily Scarrett of the Red Roses, she had a well-rounded toolkit of sports, basketball, hockey, and look how she applied all of those different skill sets from those sports, and she's a world-class rugby player. So I have no doubt that Rees-Zammit, being so young, he absorbed so much knowledge and skill over here that he's going to apply when he gets back into rugby. It's going to be beautiful to watch. It's going to be absolutely beautiful to watch. And just my personal takeaways, you all know that I've supported this man since the beginning, and didn't know about him, but my boy Josh Munn put me on him and said, do a video about this guy, and we want to hear your thoughts on it. Did it. I just really appreciate his talent. I know he has an incredible work ethic. He's talented, he's powerful, he's fast, and he's a smart player. And I think just with the experience that he built over here, it's going to set him up just for a beautiful career, and not only on the field, but off the field as well, because we need more celebrities. We need more stars in the world of rugby to showcase the talent in this game. I know it's known around the world, and with the World Cup coming here, this is only going to help bring so much more attention and money and stardom into the game of rugby. I think we need more stars. You see what Henry Pollock is doing, where he's a young gunner that has that personality that can be divisive, but it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful to have personality in the world of rugby. And I think this is the generation of players like Henry Pollock and Rees-Zammit. They're going to do that and bring that star quality in there and still uphold the beauty and the gentlemanship of rugby, but bring in that attention and the eyeballs that create that polarizing attention. And it has to be seen, and it has to be done in the world of rugby. And I think this is what's going to do it, by him coming back from the NFL and going to the world of rugby. And I just think his story inspires others. He bet on himself. He was fearless in his pursuit of greatness, and he stepped so far outside of his comfort zone where, the naysayers, the ones sitting on the couch, the do-nothings, are throwing shade at him, laughing. And they can just truly laugh at themselves, because this man did something that most people fear: getting up and taking a chance and making a decision and going for it all out. I respect him, and I just can't wait to see what he does in the world of rugby. So I just have to say, welcome back, Lewis. And I'm excited to see what you do, and we're going to celebrate your success. You already built up a huge trophy case of accolades, and you're going to continue to stack those wins, and I'll be here to watch them and celebrate you. And I know this is just one of those things. It's the beginning of the next chapter, and you're just going to be a more well-developed, evolved version of yourself, and you're still young and have so many years ahead of you. And I just appreciate you inspiring not only me, but inspiring the younger generations to really go out there and close their mouth and make a decision and test themselves. And I think it's beautiful. You brought two worlds completely together. I was the guy sitting outside the world of rugby, not knowing much about it at any level, right? Not even at a basic level. And by you coming over to the American football system, my team connected me with you and your story. Your story resonated with me. I happened to do a video about you that took off and led me into the world of rugby, where I could learn about your world and where you came from, and connected me to this beautiful community of rugby, all the men and women around the world. And I just have to celebrate you and say congratulations on a successful venture into the world of American football. And I'm excited to see a successful venture back into the world of rugby, and excited to root you on, my friend. But that'll do it for this video, Qrew. I want to know your thoughts below. And that's it. Just wanted to make a quick video about my thought process on LRZ coming back to rugby, and celebrate the man and give him his roses, Qrew. With that being said, I love you. I appreciate you. Descriptions below. Drop into the QSN Rugby Collective on skool.com/rugby. We're building incredibly fast, and I hope to see you in there, Qrew. But that'll do it. I love you. Appreciate you. Always stay laser focused on your dreams and your vision. And remember, you're in control. Peace.